This is the infamous Jamana Island called Little. Says St. James or Epstein Island. Huh. Every 72 acres on this island. Luxury was present. From luxury resort here. From private dogs and libraries. Cinema was everything present. World's big. Personality started coming to this island. Used to live, but the truth is that under the guise of parties and vacations, young children were used non-mutably. There are reports that some underground tunnels were also built on this island. It is said that here these tunnels were made under a special motive. Either island staff from one place used to go to another place so that the guests above did not look at them, or it was an escape route for the elated guests. Those who had trouble with this base were young girls and their parents. But no one dares to go against them as soon as they hear the name of these powerful people. Hui. Not for at least several years. But then in March 2005, the curtain came from all this story when a girl named Courtney Wild filed the first report against Jeffrey Epstein at Palm Beach Police Station in Florida, enjoying bravery. Police, FBI, and others in this case. The evidence found by the investigation agencies made everyone stand up. Evidence included the names of Ahem Shakhsiyat, his Namunasib photographs, and flight log to Epstein Island. All these evidences were presented in court, and these documents were called Epstein files. But the question is, who was Jeffrey Epstein? Where did he get so much money from, and how did he manage to make connections to famous people? What else did the FBI find other than secret tunnels on Secret Island? And above all, in the prison when Jeffrey died that night. The deterioration of CCTV cameras was an impatience or a large force behind it. Nazran became the world's most prolific rich man upon seeing a minor math teacher. Jeffrey Epstein Delton in 1970. Started at school, but his real location was Wall Street. He won the trust of billionaires like Victoria's Secret owner Leslie Waxner and started managing their money. Commission of crores of dollars and friendship with the elite class. Epstein plush from New York to Florida. Created the Sultanate of the Bungalows. But a date Raj was hidden behind this glowing world. Epstein hunted innocent and young girls on his power and money thrust. This story is of a man who was a billionaire to the world. But in reality a terrible mujarim. Largest of Manton. Private palace New Mexico's 75,000-acre range and luxury apartments in Paris. Epstein's royal life was nothing short of a dream. But his real sultanate was actually a 72-acre jazeera in the Caribbean. Little St. James, which we also call Epstein Island. Arrive here. For Epstein used her private jet, which the media named Lolita Express. But what happened on this island? Claims have been made that the world's big famous villagers used to be guests on this island and target underage girls here. Epstein's world. It also included the powerful faces of the world, not just money. Bill Clinton traveled 26 mertaba on Epstein's private jet, including international tours. Donald Trump was also a neighbor and friend of Epstein in the 90s. But later both of them became hostile. Trump claimed that he always refused to go to Epstein's island. But the biggest setback was the British royal family. Prince Andrew was accused of abusing 17-year-old Virginia Giuffre at Epstein's behest. That famous picture world with Prince Andrew of Versailles. Viral also occurred throughout. This led to Prince Andrew leaving his royal duties. $1 million had to be settled, and Prince's luck was also taken away from him in October 2025. Everyone from Bill Gates to Hollywood stars was in Epstein's social circle. Epstein to FBI. A lot of CDs and photos were found from the house, which led to the terrible suspicion that he used to blackmail these big people. However, the law has not yet received a client list. But this Talyakat of Epstein is still a complicated puzzle for the world. Epstein's whirlwind first erupted in 2005. When Florida's Courtney Wild named girl showed courage and made statements against Epstein to Palm Beach police. Police investigation shook the world. It was revealed that Epstein was hunting not one but dozens of underage girls. And it starts from here. The biggest joke of the world's judicial date. A secret deal was created in 2008 when Epstein should have been jailed for ages. Expensive lawyers from the U.S. Attorney, Alexander Acosta, and Epstein put victims in the dark and entered into an agreement that saved Epstein. As a result, Epstein was sentenced to just 18 months, and it was a matter of fact that he also received VIP treatment in jail. He used to work in his office all day and only went to bed at night. After just 13 months, he was completely free. This deal led not only to Epstein but to his powerful peers. Started doing the challenge. In July 2009, a victim Virginia Jeffrey of Epstein filed a civil lawsuit stating that Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell forced her to do wrong things with celebrities. Let me tell you here that Ghislaine Maxwell was Epstein's girlfriend, which had a big character in this crime. Her job was to raid innocent underage girls. She used to hire girls outside the schools by luring them money and on the pretext of jobs. From 2010 onwards, little news began as to how Epstein had bought the sentence for himself in Florida. In 2011, the Daily Mail printed an interview of Jafari referring to Prince Andrew, which triggered Shahzadi's troubles. Then in 2015, American media also began to question why Epstein had received such a concession. After years of silence, there was a big explosion in 2018. Journalist Jolly K. Brown faded his report to the provocation of justice on how the system together saved a Mujerim. This report set fire to America. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested again on July 6, 2019 due to this report. This time no secret deal worked. The court refused to give him the bail, and at this point the mighty people of the world were afraid that Epstein would now raise his name one by one. But before the trial started, there was news shaking the world. Epstein's corpse was found in New York's most expensive prison on the morning of August 10, 2019. Was found dead in the jail cell in New York on Saturday. The official report stated that he had committed suicide. But the reality was very strange. Jail's cameras were bad that night. The guards were asleep and Epstein was suddenly removed from the suicide watch list. Now the same slogan started echoing in the streets of America that Epstein did not commit suicide. People believe that he was silenced so that the secrets of the world's big names are buried forever. Although the law called it suicide, it is still the biggest puzzle in the world. After Epstein's death, his eyes on his closest partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. Sticking. Maxwell, the daughter of Robert Maxwell, a famous British media tycoon, was called Madam of Epstein. The same helped Epstein find, trap and train young girls. Despite Epstein's passing, the FBI continued its taftish in seconds July 2020. On the day Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested from a remote farmhouse in New Hampshire. Jeffrey Epstein then escaped punishment in the face of death, but his greatest companion, Ghislaine Maxwell, could not escape the clutches of the law. Victims' heartbreak in a New York court in November 2002. Bayonet made the world cry. It turned out that Maxwell was not just a partner but the mastermind of this entire trafficking network, who sought innocent children for Epstein. In June 2022, the court sentenced Maxwell to 20 years in prison. The judge said clearly, these children. But the punishment is Maxwell is serving his sentence in a Florida prison today. After Epstein died, a fund was created for victims from his wealth, which has so far raised $121 million to more than 150 survivors. Epstein died, but his files in 2025 set the world's politics on fire. In January 2024, the series of publicizing Epstein files took a new turn in January 2025 as Donald Trump became Sutter. Trump promised at the campaign that he would release Epstein's files. The result was that February. In 2025, Attorney General Pam Bondi claimed to have placed the client list on his desk. But when the first phase was released, Alum called it a joke because there was nothing new in it. But the real explosion occurred in November 2025. Epstein files by both big political parties in America passed the Transparency Act, which gave the government a deadline of December 19, 2025 that now the first files are to be released before this deadline. In December 2025, some of Ghislaine Maxwell's emails were made public in that she was using the code name. That code name was the Invisible Man. Investigation proved that it was none other than Prince Andrew who was looking for girls hiding behind the code name. An old claim from Epstein surfaced in an email of 20,000 pages that Trump had known about girls before. White House calls it Epstein's lie but knew. Records proved that Trump traveled on Murtabak Epstein's jet more than ever. When the deadline passed on December 19, 2025, a new data for 30 pages was released. But there are still more than 1 million pages left. The court and the courtroom have a rest. Some people want to bring it to the fore, and some are still hiding behind victim privacy and saving big names. Today Jeffrey Epstein is not in this world, but the shadow of his folds is still hovering over the powerful people of the world. Prince Andrew has lost his honor and status. Ghislaine Maxwell is behind prison bars, and billionaires around the world are still wiping out their friendship with Epstein. Starting with the silent voice of a child in 2005, this journey has become the world's largest corruption scandal today. Which is most famous on Epstein? The contraceptive structure found was a blue and white colored temple. No ill-fated thing was found from inside this temple, but having the temple Numa structure on such an island raises a lot of questions. When the FBI raided the island in 2019, the most asked question was that: were secret tunnels present under the island? He got some underground utilities and tunnels, but his motive was not known to anyone. But it is confirmed that underground structures were also present on the island. Apart from this, unique statues were also found on the island and on the paddle. CCTV cameras were found to be engaged. These were for camaraderie security or for blackmailing. This question remains alive till date. A helipad on which a strange face remains. In the satellite image, there is also a resort surrounded by palm trees, which is a helipad and private dog is connected with. Some non-minor medicines were also found during raid. In these, hormonal medicines raised the most questions. It is not confirmed what their motive was, but having hormonal medicines on a normally private island raises a lot of question. Epstein, if alive, had the curtain been lifted from all these secrets? This was the reason why he was probably forced to commit suicide, and perhaps because of this, everyone's eyes are on the Epstein files. Epstein files will open Majid right now. New names will be exposed, and perhaps some new faces will see the way to prison. Jeffrey Epstein's. The story tells us that money and power can hide the crime but cannot be erased.